Hey, what is up, my fearless networking friend, Todd Falcone? This is a fun one for me, actually. So the subject matter today, so I've had more and more people that have been plugging into my page, whether it's my Facebook page, my personal page, people that are investigating network marketing for the very first time. Even though pretty much everything that I do through my outlets is providing training, resources, help, assistance, guidance, direction on how to succeed in network marketing. I think there's a percentage of people that are looking for like how to win in network marketing or how do you succeed in network marketing, and they end up coming and finding me. I had somebody ask me, I don't know, it was a week or two ago, that is not currently in network marketing. Like, what's the secret to success in network marketing? Like, what's the secret? What's the secret sauce? And this is actually kind of a fun conversation for me to have with you guys. So I do want to say this very quickly, knowing full well that, first of all, I know most of you, if not, certainly most of you are already involved in network marketing, but I want to address this question that came up in this individual not fully understanding what network marketing was. In fact, I actually had to, I was at my golf club for a dinner the other night, and needed to essentially explain, well, what is network marketing? I mean, how many times have you ever had this happen where somebody says, what do you do? And you say, oh, I'm involved in network marketing. And they're like, oh, computer networking? It's so weird how they, like, no, it has nothing to do with computer networking. So network marketing, real quickly, let's just define it. Most of you guys know the definition, but essentially network marketing is a distribution model where goods and services are moved through, to end users through a network of independent distributors, representatives, affiliates, or whatever they're called in that company. So the way a company has a product, for example, and instead of them selling it at a retail store, they market it through a distribution channel where it's a distribution network, a network of people that all have the rights and the abilities to sell that company's goods and services to end users. And the roles and responsibilities, essentially, of any network marketer is to do really two things: to create a customer base, so they're creating and gathering their own customers and servicing those customers that buy from the company that they're commissioned on, and they also go out and they build a team as well of other sales reps, other independent representatives that essentially do exactly the same thing. And so they're building this larger organization over time where they're able to be compensated on the efforts not only of their own sales, but the sales of this distribution network that they've developed over a period of time. So most of you guys obviously already know that. So what I want to do now is just, because look, here's the thing, there's not really a secret to success in network marketing. And I even told this person when we chat, I said, look, I'll do a video for you and cover a few what I think are important items, but there is no secret. The secret, there's no secret. It's hard work. It's dedication, it's commitment, it's being resilient, it's focusing on the right activities. What are the right activities, by the way? Obviously, that's a great question to ask over an extended period of time. But I sat down on my desk, wrote down a list of like, okay, what do I think are, if I look back, like what are the secrets, if you will, even though they're not secrets. I'd say number one, okay, so I'm going to give you 7 of them, 7 simple things that you can do to achieve greater success in network marketing. So number one is be authentic, okay? Just be real, be you. And isn't that cool that you can be in this business and just be yourself? And there's power, there's so much power in authenticity. Being real, being straightforward, being, just who you are. I mean, the imperfect version of yourself. I mean, none of us are perfect. And so trying to fake or be different than you currently are, and then you have to remember, well, how was I when I was faking who I was? It's just a lot easier when you're just being real, when you're just being yourself, and people appreciate authenticity. We see fakiness all over the place. And there's a phrase that was used many years ago, and I don't know if it's used so much anymore, fake it till you make it. What's interesting about that is when I first heard that, it was like, okay, let's try to fake it, make us look super cool and super successful and dress the part and play the part and put the fake Rolex on, act like you got some dough when you didn't have any dough. And that's really the way it was actually taught to me early on. But the reality is, I think, I rethought about like the whole term or phrase, fake it till you make it. I think faking it till you make it is more about, faking yourself out when you really don't have the confidence and the success yet. Not about lying, not about inauthenticity, being real, but like, hey, if I was really successful in this, how would I act? How would I carry myself? And so it's more about faking ourselves out into giving us maybe initially a false sense of belief until we really develop the belief that we can actually be successful. But regardless, number one is you've got to be authentic, okay? You've got to be real. You got to be true to yourself. And it just makes, quite frankly, it makes life a lot easier when you're real. Number two, and this is a good one, love this, something that I had to learn the hard way, and that's, and you can write all these down if you want, if you're in a place to write it down. Number two is listen more than you talk. Listen more than you talk. It's funny because some people go, man, you got the gift of gab. You must be like really good at sales. And the truth is, yeah, for sure. Communication skills are great if you can put words together, if you can put sentences and paragraphs together, and if you can communicate in a clear way. Yes, that is an advantageous thing, but it's using the two ears that God gave us and the one mouth to pay attention and spend less time talking and more time listening. And that needs to be taught. That needs to be taught because, how many of us, including myself, have verbally vomited on somebody, blah, 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 I got to tell you, blah, 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 blah. I literally had this happen to me last week by a professional networker. Maybe they need to work on the professionalism a little bit, but this literally happened to me, and it's like immediately launched into this tirade about their company. Like, didn't ask me jack, didn't ask me anything. Blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you about it. I'm just so excited. Blah, 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 blah. I finally had to make an excuse to get off the phone because it was just, there was no listening. There was no identifying needs or wants or pains or dissatisfaction or how's it going? How you been? What's going on? It was like, boom, launching right into it. So just trust me when I say this, that if you want to succeed in network marketing, one of the best things that you can do is just spend a lot more time listening and hearing. Like out of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, I've quoted this so many times on platforms around the world. Be genuinely interested, not interesting. Hey, nothing wrong with being a little interesting. Interesting's cool. But if we show genuine, authentic, real interest, isn't that weird how authenticity comes up in 1 and 2? Genuine, being yourself. Number 2, showing authentic, real interest. How many times have you been in conversation with somebody and you know that they're not listening? So if you can just pay attention to what a person is saying and listen more, you're going to be a lot better off. Number 3 is providing value. So what does that mean to provide value? Well, it means a lot of things, like providing information that your audience is going to find valuable. Being able to, for example, we could go even, and this has nothing to do with network marketing, but let's say I had somebody sent me something the other day that, because I've been investigating a couple things, and they sent me a couple of articles around that subject matter that they know I've been investigating. And so that was total value to me. And so and again, how do you know? Well, this person knew because I was communicating with them and I told them this is what I was doing. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. And they found a couple of things and then they sent me information on those things. So what do you feel the people that you're communicating with are going to find valuable, interesting? It's going to help them. And I'm going to leave that section or segment fairly general because value can be presented in a number of ways. Just think to yourself, am I providing value to this individual, or am I providing value to this group that I'm communicating with? And I'm going to let that sink in just a little bit versus I'm just providing air. I'm just providing fluff. I'm just providing nothing. There's nothing that I'm providing. It's not helping them. It's not giving them anything. It's not assisting them in any way. So without me actually being specific, I think you guys get the drift. So that's number 3. Number 4 is be consistent. Now, how many times have we heard this in every single book ever written since mankind began on the subject of creating success? That which you do daily is going to determine, the end result. So if you're doing something daily that's consistently, you're going to create success. Now, this is what's interesting about this. Like, even if this was the only part of the subject matter for this, is people are so inconsistent in this business, it's ridiculous. It's like they're hot one day, they're not the next day. They're in for a week, they're cold the next week. It's nuttiness. Now, I clearly understand why people are inconsistent. But if we're looking at okay, so if somebody wants to be successful in network marketing, and me just being very straightforward with you guys, especially if, like, I don't know. I mean, I've got pros on here. I've got veterans that follow me that have been around for ages. I've got people that are coming into the profession brand new for the first time, and they're like, hey, man, I want to know what's the secret. Well, even though I already told you it's not a secret, the reality is these things that I'm sharing with you are going to be certainly advantageous in helping you succeed. So think about this, and I'll just leave it at this. Okay, so if you prospect one person every 2 weeks in this business, do you think you're going to be successful? No. If you post once a month on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook as a means to, as part of your process of building a business, are you going to be successful? Are you going to create engagement? Are you going to create a following? No. If you are, sometimes you say you're going to be there and sometimes you're not there in terms of like your promises that you make to a prospect. Yeah, I'll get back to you tomorrow, and then you fail to get back to him tomorrow, or you never get back to him, or you get back to him 3 days later when you told him you were going to be there yesterday, or 3 days 3 days earlier. You get my drift. So and this is it's so crazy because this is just basics, total basics, common sense. But I have found that sometimes common sense is oftentimes one of the least common things we find in people. But look at your consistent level. Or your consistency. Am I being consistent? Am I being consistent in my recruiting? Am I being consistent in my prospecting? Am I being consistent in my behavior? Am I being consistent across the board? There's a lot of different ways. So consistency is not just the numbers that you put out daily, the production numbers, although that's part of it, but it's consistency among, across other areas. Like, I mentioned it, like the consistency of attitude. Like if you're inconsistent in your attitude, you're hot one day and you're all happy and excited one day, and the next day you're like completely different. People don't respond well to that. So, and I would even encourage you to do whatever research, due diligence you need to do in order to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? What is this thing? What does being consistent really mean? I think you already know, but if you just be consistent, if you just do it, then you're likely to succeed, to see success. Number five is very simple, and this is the only way you can succeed in network marketing. Number 5 is helping others, okay? You can't win in this business, which is, to me, one of the most beautiful things about this business, that you can't just slam people in and forget about them and leave them to fend for themselves and see success. Now, I suppose maybe if you put, thousands of people in and you just said, go get them, man, go get them, champ. I mean, of course, you would have had to be incredibly consistent and the right kinds of activities, at least the front end right kinds of activities, prospecting and putting somebody in and then throwing them up against the wall like a piece of pasta and hope that they stick kind of situation. I suppose you probably over a period of time would create success. But is that what you want to do? No. You only win by helping other people succeed. You only win by helping other people win. That is the whole premise behind how and why network marketing works. I only make money if you make money. Right? Because that's different than most business models, okay? So think about a traditional sales manager and sales rep mode. Well, this superstar sales kid that's coming up through the ranks, I'm going to, as the sales manager probably, because there's only one sales management position, I'm going to probably do everything I can to kind of hold the kid down, because I don't want that super eager, younger, better looking, harder working kid coming and taking my job. Well, here I'm like, hey, come in, take my job, pass me, take the VP of sales, take the president position, take over whatever position you want. And that's the beautiful thing about this business is if we only get paid by helping other people. So if you're looking at this business for the first time or you've been in this business, it's like, hey, am I helping other people win? So focusing on helping others. And if that's your primary focus, my primary focus is helping others, you can't help but succeed. Number six is have patience, okay? Actually, I looked this up the other day. Rome wasn't built in a day. We've all heard that phrase, I think, and I don't have the statistics in front of me, but Rome was built over a period of like 1,227 years, and it was like 850 years BC. So it was a long time ago. And we've all heard the phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day. It was built in a day. It was literally over 1,220 some odd years. And if you've never been to Rome and you look at it and you realize that was built, how many thousand years ago, it's unbelievable. It's like literally unbelievable. So, for us to be in networking and exercise a little bit of patience, like, I'm not making 10 grand after 2 months. Okay. So, have you ever made 10 grand? No. I maxed out at like 5 grand a month in my job. So wait a minute. So you've been at your job for 10 years. You're making 60 grand a year and you're mad at 90 days in because you're not making 10 grand a month here. We've got to have a little bit of patience. So anybody who's in this business, I think, first of all, as leaders, we've got to modify and help somebody align their expectations properly if they're going to succeed. That's an important element to the overall picture, but having a little patience is a pretty good thing. And number 7, and I got to finish with this one, is invest in yourself. Take the time to invest in yourself. When I started in network marketing, it was literally right out of college. I'd been reading books, I'd been taking tests, and then some dude said, you need to go to a seminar, you need to read this book. I'm like, I just want to make some money. I didn't get it. I didn't understand the importance of investing in myself. And I will tell you absolutely without a doubt that I've learned more out of college by investing in myself and my skill sets and my abilities specifically related to entrepreneurship and selling and leadership and network marketing than I ever did in college. And I love Jim Rohn's quote, formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. So if you're involved in this business, you've got to be in a growth mode. You've got to be in this, the very best investment that you can make is in yourself. And look, I will tell you straight up, I still do it. I still do it all the time. In fact, I can tell you right now, in the last month and a half, I've purchased, I don't know, I'd have to go actually back and count. I've purchased at least more than a handful of different training programs around different elements to creating success in business. I won't get into I can't even talk today, specifics of it, but I can tell you right now, I've invested thousands of dollars just in the last month on different things that I want to learn, that I want to understand. So I'm still 30 plus years later investing in myself because look, that is your greatest asset. That is your very best asset. What you tell me what else is worth more investing in than yourself. So if you want to succeed in network marketing, those are 7 simple things that you can do to create success in the network marketing profession. I appreciate you guys for being here. If you're on my podcast, what's up, podcasters? I appreciate you. My YouTubers, appreciate you guys as well. More details, more resources right here at toddfalcone.com/episode 222. TODDFALCONE.com/episode 222. We'll see you next time.